Hey fam, so welcome to another session of Engaging Influencers. And for the first time, we have a guest. I'm sure you can see him, but I'll leave it up to him to tell us his name. Then, for a good 30 minutes plus, we'll learn a lot from his life, what he's doing, and he's really an inspiring figure. But I'll leave it up to you to stick around so that you should understand why I invited him to the show. So, hey man.
Hey brother.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So what's your name?
My name is Ndabezinhle Kazembe.
And how do you pronounce your name again?
Ndabezinhle.
Trust me, there's some Zulu boys here. It feels good to have a friend who every time when you tell people your name and they're always like, can you say it again? How does it feel? Yeah, that's my name. Shanta is my name, but it never happens. Like as far as I live in Malawi, I've never met a person who I told them my name and they get it the first time and they don't ask again. So, how does it feel for you?
Bruh, it's here's my guy.
But yeah, so it's amazing to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, bro.
So, to begin with, where do you come from?
All right, I come from Cholo.
Yeah.
Metabali village.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's close to Ndata.
So that time when we were at school, because we went to the same school.
Yes.
So I used to run away on weekends to go and eat the bananas and stuff.
Yeah, bro. Like I was like you built that school in my village, so.
So you're just like we're the landlords. They don't know. Okay, that's awesome. So you pretty much grew up in Cholo, close to Cholo, or where exactly did you grow up?
So Cholo is my home village, but then I was born in Zuzu and I grew up in Zuzu. Sure. I came to Lilongwe somewhere in 2014.
That probably was a time when you were doing high school?
Yes. I was in Form 3.
You were in Form 3?
Sure.
Okay. So, a bit of background in your life. So, where did you do your high school?
Okay, so I did my high school at King's Foundation. I started here in Lilongwe.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, Chel campus.
There are 2 campuses for Kings?
Yes, 2 campuses.
Didn't know.
So I wrote my MSc there and I got 14 points.
Wow. You hate that. All right. So after that, that's when you applied for college.
Yeah. And
you were selected to?
I was selected to master. Of course, my first choice was I wanted to study engineering at Poly.
Yeah.
And my second option was economics at Chanko. My option was computer systems and security.
Okay. So, what was your experience studying at MAST and doing computer system security? Understanding that it wasn't your first option, obviously, probably it wasn't something that you really wanted to do in the first place.
Yes. Of course, when I was going to university, I wouldn't call it a childish mindset. But then I was still young. I think I was 17.
Yeah, that was young.
Yeah. So I wasn't so mature, whereby during my first year, I would say, a little bit playful. Like I had to, you know how university is. I had to hang out with friends, whatnot.
Find out all the fun in the world. I mean, there's this belief that college is just the maximum of fun.
Yeah. But
should we say the same about maths? Okay, no offense to all maths people, we are from there, but how fun was it as you're exploring?
I would say maybe that was one of the reasons that helped me, after my first year, I was no longer into that. I was no longer into the fun and all. So it was after my first year when I started to venture more into entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then eventually, I think I'll later on talk about it.
Yeah.
On the show. I got a repeat. But then by and by till we graduated and yeah.
Wow. Now you're graduated. So what are you doing?
Okay. At the moment, I have 3 businesses.
Mm-hmm.
I have Photo Merchants, which which does general supplies.
Yeah.
And then Exclusive Auto, it's about selling cars and spare parts. And another one, NK Agri-Ventures.
Yeah.
So basically, we just do in agribusiness, and also we have a dairy farm.
That's good.
And full time, I'm into crypto. So yeah, I'm a peer-to-peer crypto trader.
Wow. I think you explain later about that, because I don't know who understand what peer-to-peer crypto is, but
all right.
It's very interesting. And maybe if you can, just for you to be validated, I mean, I hope you have been able to see that.
Yeah,
just tells you
Bitcoin symbol.
it just has to be there. Moving on. So tell us more. How did you get started in business? Like in detail now. Where did it all start?
All right. So it started in 2016 after I wrote my MANEB examination.
How old were you then?
I was 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So, lucky enough, my neighbor, I was staying in area 49 then.
Mm-hmm.
My neighbor was working for this other NGO. We call it FAWEMA.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was a peace week. So I was employed for, I think, 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So we were earning somewhere around 20,000 a day, 20,000 kwacha.
And that was in 2016.
Yeah.
That was still something for a 4-year-old boy.
It was a lot of money, I would say.
Yeah.
So after that peace week, I was able, my priority was to get myself a nice laptop because I'm going to uni, and, a nice sunset, some nice clothes. But then after I bought all that, I had some money left. And then I was thinking, okay, what do I do now with this money?
Mm-hmm.
So there was this guy who was selling vegetables along the streets. He used to come with his bike, and every day would buy vegetables from him. So I had a quick chat with him, as in, we used to talk, but then now I had to have a business chat with him. And then I was like, bro, what businesses are viable now? What can I do? So he was like, you know what? If you are to have bicycles, they should be doing kabaza. You'd be earning 2,000 kwacha per day for each of the bikes. I was like, wow, that sounds like, some good amount of money, because you calculate it, and then how much you spend on the kabazas, whatnot. That's a good profit. And also, I'm just a student after, that's enough money for me. So I bought 2 bicycles for Gabaza, and then I also repaired his bicycle, which he was using, so that we can maybe, as in, that was part of his share now.
So it was more like a partnership?
Yeah, it was more like a partnership. And then we had to put all the accessories needed for the Gabaza, whatnot. So a week after we did that, he came back with his reports. This business, the challenges, the guys are complaining this. But I have a plan B. Okay, talk to me. What's the plan B? Since I'm experienced in selling vegetables, I think it would make more profits. Would make somewhere around 4,000 if we get a basket, and then each and every morning we order vegetables, and then we'll be going around with these guys, because I cover a huge area. I cover area 18 and area 49. So,
So, before you go far, to utilize the same people you had for Kabaza to now be going out to go and sell vegetables. Okay.
Yeah.
Go on.
That was the plan. So it sounded like a good idea to me. I was like, this is like, I'll be making double. That's okay.
Yeah.
So we bought the baskets, and then I gave them capital. After a week, they brought some profits. I was like, this is working. Perfect. Unfortunately, my mother then was working here in Lilongwe, and then she had just got a better offer from the same company she was working to now be based in Blantyre.
Oh.
Yeah. Now that's where trouble began.
Yo. So now you had to see how you can manage the business while living in another city.
Yeah, and also before that, I trusted this guy so much. He also told me, there's this other business, Chiwaya works well, Kwasenti.
He always had ideas, eh?
Yeah, this guy had ideas.
I can
Chiwaya
imagine.
works well, Kwasenti. So,
Yeah.
we just get the tray, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I funded him, I gave him money to do that. And I wasn't clever then, because one thing that I missed, I didn't go there to supervise, like, what's actually happening on the ground.
You just like, whatever he says, get the money.
Yeah.
And tell me how it worked at the end of the day.
Yeah. And then, bought him a handset. As in, I was making sure that he's well sorted.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I never got any returns from the Chiwaya thing. But then, anyway, we moved.
Wow.
So now we have moved to Blantyre, and now I have to supervise this guy. He has to report to me. He's away.
Mm-hmm.
After a week in Blantyre, no communication.
Wow. Changed phone numbers. Nowhere to be found.
His phone was just off, bro.
Yeah.
That was something else. Anyway, I talked to my cousins who were here in Lilongwe, and then they went there, and then they recovered the 2 bicycles. And
at least.
Yeah. But then after they came back from recovering the bicycles, they were like, we met your guy, but then he doesn't seem like someone who had ill intentions. I don't know. Maybe some things were just wrong with him. Mm-hmm. But then who knows? I was like, you know what? Mm-hmm. This is the end of that chapter. And then, 2 bicycles in that state, they were doing kabaza. It's not like we found them. They found them in good state. Mm-hmm. So I just had to let them go. Like, you can just have the bicycles. It's fine.
All right. So after that, you went on to do more businesses. My question now would be, I think after investing all the money that you worked for and the business never worked out.
Yeah.
Whether the guy duped you or not, we're not sure, but why did you go on to do more businesses? Because I believe at that point in time, it would have been easy being young, a lot of things to do. You'd have easily said, maybe business is not my thing. Yeah. So what inspired you to go on and do more businesses?
Okay. So I think the moment you start, you realize that there's potential in you.
I love that.
Yeah. So the moment I started, and then they were like, we were planning that, okay, so after a week, I'll be able to make this much. And then you calculate that after a month, this will be more. After a year, then I would have grown my money this month. So it was like, now my mind is open that indeed, I think entrepreneurship is the way to go.
All right. So why in college? Was it all about school, or then you started considering doing another business?
Okay. Yeah. Now, when I was in college, during my second year, I realized that there was something missing. At most, we only had like one off campus, I'd say, because we had the cafeteria where you buy your food. And then off campus, there was only one restaurant which attracted many students.
Yes.
Yeah,
we're all there.
So everyone would go there, and then you'd see, like, I don't know, they could feed, 50 or 100 people each and every day.
They had a good percentage of the student population going there.
Yeah. So I saw, like, this is an opportunity.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I think I should open a restaurant. And after all, I'm a student, so my friends would definitely be coming over.
At least, if the food is not so good yet, but still friends will be there. Let's support a boy.
No, bro, I was like, make sure that the quality is top notch, and then everything is okay, whatnot. So now the hard part was finding capital. So what I did? I sold the PC that I bought.
The one you are using for studying?
Yeah.
That was a risk.
Yeah, so I saw it was somewhere around 270k. It was an HP ProBook. Yeah, I remember quite well.
Wow. So that's what you used to invest in that business?
Yeah.
Okay, so how did it go?
So I partnered with a relative to be running the daily operations. Since I'm a student, I can go in town and then buy relish, whatnot. Brother, I should say it didn't go as I planned, because there were a lot of operational challenges. Like, the business itself was time sensitive. as in you have to make sure by 12 the food is ready.
Yeah.
Because students will be out just for an hour. So it was time sensitive, and also talking of quality, cause the competitor now, this Maggie.
Yeah, that was real competition. Yeah.
Yeah, was delivering. But then now our business lacked consistency.
Okay.
Yeah, cause one day the food is really nice, as in every customer is happy, and then another day they say, we don't have this. But then you have to understand, I wasn't running the operations. Someone else was running the operations. Yeah. So maybe we didn't have the same vision.
Yeah.
I wouldn't conclude to say that.
Mm-hmm.
But then there were also some operational challenges along the way,
mm-hmm.
which I would understand based on maybe the capital which we were running on.
Yeah.
And also the perspective my partner had.
Yeah.
So after one semester, we didn't realize much profits, I'd say. Mm-hmm. It was like we just moving constantly. You make a profit, and then later on you make a loss, and then the rentals to cover, whatnot. Mm-hmm. So not much profit was realized. Mm-hmm. The following semester, I was like, you know what? I think this is not working. Mm-hmm. So what I would do is, we're here for 3 months. I just told her, of course, she was a relative, that, the restaurant is yours, but then under one condition. I'll be having free meals for the rest of the semester.
Oh.
So I think that was a fair deal, honestly.
That was a generous deal.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so the business went on to thrive, or...
It didn't survive after that semester, unfortunately.
Okay.
So it was just there for a year. So during that time, my grandmother told me, you know what, so, as I said, that my home village is Cholo.
Yeah.
It's just close by. So during Fridays, we would go there and then have a chat. So my grandmother was like, you know what, people are making money by farming tomatoes here. I think you should try that rather than this restaurant. It's wasting your money, whatnot. Mm. I was like, okay. But then now I've made losses from this restaurant.
Like all the money.
I no longer have a PC.
Yeah.
Now I need money to invest into
the tomato business.
Tomato farming.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went all in.
Wow.
I just downgraded. Of course, I had a phone, mm-hmm. So I just downgraded, as in sold it, mm-hmm. and then bought a smaller phone. Mm-hmm. Had the margin, used the margin to rent out. We rented out two pieces of land, mm-hmm. and I partnered with a friend who was also a student. Mm-hmm. Most of the money which we used to invest in the tomato farming was from our pocket money. Oh. So we agreed that, brother, you know what? Basically, you receive your pocket money, I receive my pocket money. Then one of us will have to sacrifice the whole pocket money to go into the farming, mm-hmm. and then we will use the rest to sustain ourselves, to buy meals, whatever.
Yeah. So
we'd share meals. It was okay. Mm-hmm. As in, we were surviving after all. Then we acquired 2 pieces of land. We mm-hmm. rented them out. We started farming there. So on one piece of land which we rented, there was this guy who was farming close to that area. Mm-hmm. I would say he was the one who I used to go to ask some advices to do with tomato farming, because he had experience.
Yeah.
He earlier on advised me to say, this piece of land you have acquired, mm-hmm. it looks like a Dumbo area, but then there isn't enough water. Mm-hmm. But then the people who were renting us out the land took us there, and then they said, you see this water, this is enough. It will take you the whole 4 months to finish it. As in, it's always here. Mm-hmm. All year out, we have water here, so it's a good piece of land. And as you can see, we grew maize here, and then it did well, whatnot. Mm-hmm. So I was personally convinced mm-hmm. that I think this is the piece of land to go for. Mm-hmm. We paid, and then we rented it out. We started farming tomatoes there. Mm-hmm. Brother, just after 6 weeks, I think, we didn't have any water.
Wow.
So all the tomatoes dried out at such an early stage. But then since I acquired 2 pieces of land, mm-hmm. on the other one, everything looks good. Yeah. And then, out of sympathy, my grandmother was like, since you have lost the other piece of land, I think you should also farm on my backyard one. I was like, you know what, I think this is an opportunity. Let's go ahead. So we did farm at the backyard.
The same tomato?
Yeah, the same tomato.
All right.
Yeah. So after 4 months, we harvested. The harvest was good, honestly. But then now the challenge came was the market, because the prices were quite low.
It was off season.
Yeah, as they say, off season.
Yeah.
So I had to figure something out. So I took a sample. We plucked out, I think, 20 or so, and then went to town. So I had to go to Chipigu. We have Chipigu. We went to Chipigu, and then I had a chat with the manager that, I can be supplying you tomatoes or whatever. And he was like, you know what, right now we have a lot of suppliers, so that can't wait. I was like, anyway, I won't give up. And my next stop was halal, so superior halal.
Yeah.
We used to have superior halal back then.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. I went there, and then they were like, it's okay. We'll be buying any quantities from you. It's like,
wow.
Great, that's a good deal. But we'll be making the payment after 3 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
So think of it, I've already waited for 4 months to harvest the tomatoes. Now I have to after I deliver them, I have to wait for 3 weeks.
While you're covering the cost of transportation, paying people and all that.
And then each and every week, they were demanding that I supply them twice.
Wow.
But then I thought, with the quantities that I have, I think I'll be able to handle this. And then I was like, I think I should have 2 options. And then I went to Sana as well. They offered, okay, we'll be buying, but then we'll be buying cash, which was a good deal.
Wow.
But then the quantities were very small. So I still needed to be supplying at So I started supplying them. But the only challenge now was waiting for the payments now. 3 weeks, bro. And I've already invested so much in farming. And then now I have to wait for the payments as well.
Wow.
So the plan, as I started supplying them, I was thinking, you know what, I think this is a better model. I should just be buying these tomatoes somewhere, Vumbwe market or maybe Goliath, and then supply here.
Without even farming.
Because the patience itself, it's
4 months.
It's something else.
Yeah.
So I did that just for a week. I didn't have the capital because I was still waiting for my payments. After supplying, I just gave up. I was like, you know what, guys, I can't manage because I have to wait for so long to receive the payment. And then after 3 weeks, what pained me most was I was supposed to receive a payment. I don't know, it was worth 80,000 or so. And they were like, okay, so we'll give you half of the payment today and then the other one during the...
They never communicated upfront about such payment.
Yeah. It was like the business was unstable. No wonder they shut down.
I can imagine now.
Yeah. But anyway, I got the money from that business. I would say we made a profit. It wasn't as much as we expected it to be, but then we came out with a profit.
That was
sure
good enough. At least that was like the first business where you saw something coming out of it.
Yeah. But then it wasn't a profit margin, which I would say was worth the time.
Yeah.
But then at least something materialized, and I knew how. I learned how to market myself, how to market my product.
Yeah.
Because I just took my product and went straight to the target market, and I told them, I have this product. Yeah.
That's good to hear. Wow, what a journey. Honestly, I saw you around campus, but man, you're dangerous. Eh? Every day we saw each other, but nowhere did I imagine that you were trying to come up with this business as well on campus. Yeah, so getting back into the conversation now. I see. Here you are, a student, doing business.
Yeah.
How did that affect you?
So right after I sold my tomatoes, I got a repeat that semester. No, started with my partner. My partner got a repeat. And then the following semester, I got a repeat as well.
Do you believe it had to do with the commitment that you had to do with business and all this? Did that contribute?
Sure, I do believe so, because I didn't have a PC.
Yeah.
Because I sold my PC so that I can have capital to run my business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was, university without a PC.
It's almost impossible.
Yeah, and during every Friday, we would have to go and supervise, check out the farms every Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
And then we're back. Once we're back, we're tired. You
can start. And master school.
Yeah. And then, and then school was quite hard then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here you are now. You have repeated, you have sold the tomato, and you have gone back to school. Did you get to continue, like to start another business over again? Or maybe this time it was just old school?
Yeah, so this other guy, some random guy, I think, texted me on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, the crypto is a thing now, so I can hook you up to it. You just have to have crypto in your wallet, and then we'll connect it to a mining rig, and then we'll be mining crypto. You'll be earning this much each and every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, this is a good chance to a passive income. And then he said, you don't have to send me the crypto or anything. I was like, cool. That sounded like a good deal.
All right. Yeah, I mean, they all sound like good deals.
Yeah.
But what convinced you? Because we understand a lot of scamming and stuff like that. Yeah, so
he said that you don't have to send the crypto to me or whatever. You have it in your wallet. I was like, I think that feels safe. Okay. So I didn't do much research personally, but then just that fact that I won't have to send out the crypto, I was like, I think this is the deal.
Okay.
Yeah. So I set up my wallet, and then I contacted Grey Jabesi.
Yeah.
To sell me some crypto. I think
was he the one who contacted you, or you just knew him personally?
Who, Grey Jabesi?
Yeah.
No, he was like, I was looking how can I buy, I was looking up how I can buy crypto.
Yeah.
Here in Manhattan. So his name popped up and I contacted him. I was like, hey bro, I want to buy some crypto.
Yeah.
He sent me his bank details, and then I sent him money, and I sent him my wallet address. He sent me crypto. It was somewhere around, I think, $200.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a lot of money then, for a student. And I think it was maybe 30% or 40% of the profits that I made from the tomato farm. Yeah. Oh. So he transferred me the crypto, and then I contacted the guy. I said, I'm now ready. I have the crypto with me. Link me up to the mining rig. I should be making some money.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, cool. So just give me your wallet ID so that I can link it up.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing that once one has access to that wallet ID, he'll be able to
like withdraw
to get my funds. Yeah.
So he was a scammer.
He was a scammer.
How will you ever meet the right person in crypto? But anyways, you're into it. I hope today you guide us somehow or something. Yeah, continue.
So I ended up giving him my wallet ID.
Yeah.
And the next thing I realized, funds are gone.
Someone has withdrawn the whole $200.
So gone, bro.
But yeah, continue.
Bro, I was frustrated with myself, and I was thinking, how can I be so dumb? Like, this is so in crypto, when you have a wallet,
mm-hmm.
you have a public address which you can send out to someone to send you crypto, and you have a private ID,
mm-hmm.
which you don't have to send out to anyone. But then I sent him the private ID because he told me he wants to link it up to the mining rig. But then I didn't have all that knowledge then.
Yeah, as you said. So, wow.
So he went away with the crypto. I tried to text him. He didn't respond. I tried to call. He didn't pick up. It was like, bro, the money is gone.
Wow.
I had to accept it. I'm over.
I can imagine. So now from your story, it's like almost every business came with its own disappointments.
Yes.
Because we see the bicycle, you never realized any profits. The vegetables, then you are moving on to tomato. As much as profit, but still it was not as what you expected or invested. And here you're in crypto. And the guy scams you.
Yeah.
What lesson did you learn from all these experiences?
I learned that knowledge is the key that sustains every business. So, in whatever you want to venture into, you need to have knowledge in that particular area.
That's true.
Yeah. So, for example, the moment I was going into farming, tomato farming, I had asked around, but then I didn't have so much knowledge to the extent whereby if I had enough knowledge the moment I visited that first piece of land, I would have known that the water that's on this piece of land is not enough to sustain it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's the key thing that I learned. Knowledge is very prime in business. And also when you're running a business, you need to be there for the business.
Yeah, that I have seen because you're mostly sending people to supervise.
Yeah. So my first business, that was the main mistake.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then with these limitations, because it's also understandable, okay, at least the first business, but the second business is understandable why you had to work with someone because you're a student there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in case that you have no option but to partner with someone, when you look back, how better could it have been done?
Right now, brother, what I would say is when it comes to finding the right business partner, only God can help us to do so.
You can never be so sure.
You can never be so sure.
But there are some things that you still look into, even if it's the right one, but wouldn't you still have some checklist to say, okay, I have to do a bit due diligence just to be very sure about it?
At first, man can be able to convince you through words.
Yeah.
But then at the moment, what matters to me for one to partner with me is the value that person holds.
Yeah.
So value is something which one cannot hide. Value shows itself.
That's true.
Yeah. So if I'm choosing the right partner, I'll have to check his value. So you'll be able to see from what he does, maybe you just try out something, you try out a business, not as in full execution, but then you just try it out. And then you see how that person executes it. You see how that person delivers. That's when you'll be able to see that, I think this is the guy to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't just jump in 100% at first insight.
You don't have to trust. They say don't trust, but you have to verify.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one question that I would ask, even from your experience, would you say you regret starting young? Because then at 16, that was young. Do you think you would have been smarter if you're older or anything like that? Do you have any regrets? Let me just say that.
I've never regretted. Because I take these were like lessons that I took in my entrepreneurship journey. Yeah, and so the losses that I was making, that was like the fees that I was paying for those lessons.
Yeah.
So from 2016 to date, that's like 7 years.
Yeah, that's some time.
Yeah. So almost each and every year, I had something which was keeping me busy.
Yeah.
And then I was learning, I was making mistakes. Some of these, for example, the mistakes that I made back then, what I had was just a PC, but then I decided to sell the PC. So I'll think of it like right now, can I manage to do that? As in sell everything that I have just for a business? Maybe that would be, I don't know, that would be very hard for me to do.
Unless maybe there are good rewards that would be worth it.
Yeah, but then I can't sell everything I have,
That's true.
It's like these losses that I made in the first place.
Yeah.
Back then I was able to afford them.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, not afford them in the monetary way, but then my emotions could have afforded them. Yeah. But then right now you hear someone has committed suicide because they tried this, they didn't work, they tried this.
True. It's true.
Sure. But then back then I was able to handle it all because I didn't have any responsibilities, I would say. It was just one man.
All right. So here you are. You have 3 companies, if I'm not wrong. And that person, I know your life. You're someone who's doing well. So leading to this point where at least you are seeing progress in most of the things that you're doing. But here, as you are saying, there were a couple of failures that led to that. So what can you tell someone who's watching this show right now? A lesson and advice about failure. Is it possible to have success without failure? Is it the same process? Because we see that to get where you are, you had to go through all these things. And most people, maybe they don't even know how you went all about to get where you are. Most people just see you now, but they don't really understand your story. So what can you say about success and failure?
I think we can separate these two. You know, for entrepreneurs, I'll be specific for entrepreneurs, when you're venturing into entrepreneurship, what you see on paper is not what you see
on the ground.
On the ground. It's totally different. So failure, I don't know, failure sounds like a big word to use. But then I'll choose to think of it as it's just part of the process. Which you have to go through. You try something out, it doesn't work. But then, yes, it hasn't worked out. You're thinking of it as in maybe the numbers don't make sense, maybe they're in losses, but then you have still gained something. So, firstly, your mindset has changed. Your perspective has changed in, about that particular business. Maybe you have now been connected to a group of people. Those are things which you can't value per se monetary wise, or even your experience itself. You can't say my experience is worth 10,000 kwacha. The experience that I earned in this business is worth 10,000 kwacha. No. But then later on you get to realize that, okay, I failed, but then I learned something from those failures. And then they'll be able to help you to move on and then do better when you continue in the journey.
That's true. So let's take it back to the businesses. Here you have gotten now scammed from crypto. What was next?
Okay, so went back to school. That was my 3rd year, first semester. My focus was now solely on school. I was focused on school. I did well that semester. And then the following semester, unfortunately, we had this COVID break, COVID-19 break. So we all went home. So as I was starting my holiday, I saw Gray Jabez posted on his status that he wants a social media manager, someone to be managing his social media platforms. So remember, Gray Jabez is the guy who sold me the crypto that I got scammed. So I saw it on Facebook and I had his number. So I went straight to his DM on WhatsApp. Hey, bro, I think I can be able to manage your pages. Can you please give me this opportunity? I was like, cool. Let's schedule an interview tomorrow. Okay, proper. I had to show up for the interview. So it was an online interview. So despite being an online interview, and I was just a student, I was young then. I dressed up really nice and had to make sure that, I look worth it. And then,
those are lessons. I hope you're taking notes.
So we had that Zoom meeting, and he told me that you're the first person who I'm interviewing this morning. I have 3 candidates who I've shortlisted. You're the first person. And then right after the interview, he said, though I have not interviewed the other 2 yet, I've hired you.
Wow. What do you think impressed him?
I think I was confident about myself. I approached him with confidence. So, for example, I don't know, if someone appears too desperate people do everything just to get something.
Yeah.
So I think that's another problem. People show a lot of desperation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that you can miss out a lot of opportunities when you're showing a lot of desperation. So I was confident, though I really needed that job, honestly, because
I can imagine you have gotten scammed $100.
Yeah. But then I didn't show any desperation. I just told him about what I can be able to deliver to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then another thing about him, he didn't care about my academic qualifications. He didn't bother asking. He just said you have to be computer late, whatever.
Yeah.
But then he didn't mind about the academic qualifications, which myself, when I was going for the interview, I was like, so he'll be asking me, what program are you studying, whatever. But then he didn't care about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I also learned something there that, whatever you study, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
What matters is what you know and what you do.
Wow. Deliver.
You should be able to deliver.
Wow.
That's it.
Okay, so let's go on with the crypto story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So now he hires me as a social media manager.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have so much knowledge in crypto then.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm managing a page of someone who is into crypto.
Mm-hmm.
So the people, he had about, I think, 3 pages,
mm-hmm.
3 Facebook pages, all to do with crypto.
Mm-hmm.
So the people coming in with questions each and every day asking about crypto. So, there were issues which, for example, in particular, when he was hiring me, I was supposed to be handling sales. So when someone wants to buy crypto, I was supposed to be moderating the transaction between him and the buyer of the crypto.
Mm-hmm.
But then the others were coming there just to get the knowledge about crypto.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't keep on every day messaging him. What is this, Greg?
Mm-hmm.
What is Bitcoin? How does a Bitcoin transaction work?
Mm-hmm.
Now I had to train myself because he even told me that, bro, you need to learn this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I now had to go on YouTube and then start my research to do with crypto.
Mm-hmm.
I had to ask him to recommend me some books.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go through the Bitcoin standard. I had to read the Bitcoin white paper.
Mm-hmm. And
then by and by, things became easier for both of us. We were working quite fluently. And he used to delegate, I would say, maybe 90% of his work to do with transacting the crypto.
Mm-hmm.
He would delegate it to me and then I would handle it quite well.
Mm-hmm.
So then we were selling crypto, but then it was just using a Facebook page. We used to call it Buy Bitcoin Malawi.
Mm-hmm.
And then the business was growing. He was like, you know what, bro? I've employed a couple of developers. We're building an app, Kodo app.
Yeah, I heard of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the moment he launched the app, he was like, bro, you have been of great value to Buy Bitcoin Malawi. So I think now I'm getting you to be with us at Kodo.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be the operations manager.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was after, I think, 6 months.
Wow.
6 months after joining him. And I was still in college then.
Yeah.
So I think then we started learning online.
Mm-hmm.
So that was during my 3rd year, 2nd semester.
Mm-hmm.
So I was also an operations manager somewhere.
Again.
At this key.
Yeah.
But then when I was the social media manager, I was earning somewhere around 60,000 per month. Yeah. But then data was very expensive then. So I'd spend like 30,000 on that.
I remember before we had Pamtsetse and all this that time, yeah?
Yeah, so I just had the 30K. But then I was okay, as we home, there's COVID, and then just the access then, just having that good internet access then was prime. Because right now having internet access is not a big deal. But then I had that each and every day, just because of the way. Yeah, so then at first I was earning 60K when I was at Buy Bitcoin Malawi as a social media manager. And then they said that, you have to be the operations manager at Kodo app. Mm-hmm. My salary was somewhere close to 200,000, which was okay. Honestly.
When you're still a student.
Yeah, it was okay.
Mm-hmm. So
we pushed, and then I was delivering, I think. To my capacity, I was delivering because my team was was just involving 3 people, but then we had to grow the app to, I think, 1,000 users within 3 months or so.
That was swift for Malawi.
Yeah. For Malawi, that's really good.
Yeah.
And we were making sales in millions, I'd say. I wouldn't specify how much, but then in millions. And then he saw the progress. He was like, you know what, bro? I see this app is growing.
Mm-hmm.
We have to take things to another level. But then for us to do that, I need you to be all in. When I say you need to be all in, let's have a deal. For every year you work with me, you'll be getting 2.5% of shares in the company.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So that was a really good deal, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay.
So cool. On top of that, you're still getting your salary.
Yeah. But then I'll be getting 2.5%.
So that was pretty much loyalty reward.
Yeah.
That was a good deal.
So we did start 6 months later,
mm-hmm.
when I was in my 4th year.
Yeah.
I was able to pay for my school fees and stuff like that.
Just from that money?
Yeah, because of the gig that I was having with Kodo.
Wow.
It was enough to pay for the fees. You're earning 200K 2 months. You're okay to sort out fees.
Yeah.
So now we're in 4th year, and then the Forex crisis starts to hit Malawi.
Yeah.
And then we sit down with Gray, we see how the Forex crisis is affecting us.
Mm-hmm.
How we're failing to deliver. We have the capacity to deliver, but then we can't because the banking system is not able to sustain what we want.
Yeah.
We decided, you know what, bro? I think it's time we have to shut down the application. So that was really, it was unexpected, but then we shut down the application. So after shutting down the application now, I was the face of the business, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
The Kodo. I was the face of the business.
Yeah.
I interacted with the customers. I interacted with all the stakeholders involved.
Mm-hmm.
They all knew me.
Mm-hmm.
So now the customers kept on coming to me. Bro, we need to buy crypto.
Mm-hmm.
We need your help. We need to buy crypto. So I was like, you know what? And then someone will come. Okay, I want to sell crypto. I was like, you know what? I think this is an opportunity for me. So I'd simply buy from someone and then sell to the other person. So that's what we call crypto peer-to-peer trading.
Now.
So you just buy from one person and then you sell it to another person. So example, I buy it from you at a rate of 1,500.
Yeah.
So I buy $1,000 from you at 1,500.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 1.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sell it to someone else at 1,700 at a rate of 1,700.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning to say I will sell it at 1.7 million.
Mm-hmm.
So the margin there is 200,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So basically that's crypto peer-to-peer trading. Yeah.
So that's what you are doing right now.
Sure.
That's awesome. Okay. So you mentioned that somewhere you are doing this and you're in your 4th year.
Yes.
So you should be graduating by now.
Yes.
All right. So you graduated while you're still doing crypto.
Yeah.
Okay. So get into the gist now of this conversation and series, the transition. I'm sure before you graduated, you had an idea how life would be like after you graduate. Did everything turn out as you imagined it?
No, it didn't. Because when I was in uni and now I'd found this gig at Kodo,
mm-hmm.
I thought, after uni now I'll be working. I already found myself a job.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be sorted. But then before I finished uni,
mm-hmm.
no, I think it was after I finished uni, just after 2 months or so,
mm-hmm.
that's when we shut down the company.
Wow.
So that wasn't as how I planned it.
Yeah.
And of course, when I was in 1st year or so, we used to think that, okay, once I graduate, I'll find a nice job where they'll be paying us highly,
mm-hmm.
whatnot. But then, you know how things can go sometimes.
Yeah. So how did you maneuver that? How did you handle the company shutting down and meeting unexpected realities? How did you maneuver yourself to keep on, doing what you're doing?
I think that was a time of reflection for me. That's where I had time to think of what I have, to know my capabilities.
Yeah.
Based on, okay, if someone, my understanding was, okay, if I was working for someone and he was able to pay me this much, because by the time we were shutting down the company, I was earning somewhere close to 400,000 a month.
Wow.
So I was thinking, if someone is able to pay me that much, that means I'm worth more than that.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's not obvious for everyone, but that's what you have to know. If someone is paying 1 million, you are worth more than 1 million.
Yeah, you're worth more than that.
Yeah.
So I thought of it like, and I sat down, okay, so what can I do? And then I realized that, okay, there's something which I've spent most of my time doing is crypto for the past year or so. If there's something which I've invested my time to learn, if there's an industry whereby I'm connected, I would say it was all crypto.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I think it's time I should focus into crypto now. Yeah.
Wow. All right. So Kodo has shut down. How did things turn out to be after this? Did things get better?
Okay. Things never got better, I would say. Because the Forex crisis is there till date. But then I think that's where now being an entrepreneur comes in.
Yeah, true.
That's where the money is.
True entrepreneurs are seen in crisis.
Yeah, so that's where I had to figure out ways now how to be able to find the crypto. Because basically, when dealing in the peer-to-peer market, I would solely rely on someone else to sell me the crypto, so I sell it to another person. But then in a market like Malawi, whereby we have more buyers than sellers.
Why is that so?
I think because of the Forex issue, I'd say. Because more people want Forex. Because, crypto, you can use it to make online payments and the like.
Yeah.
So it's like, basically, it's just US dollars in a digital form. Yeah, so you can use them for remittance and the like. Yeah. So, Malawian market, it's so biased, whereby there's a lot of Forex going out than coming in.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now the tricky part is for me to be able to find more supply. Yeah. Without relying on someone else to sell me the crypto. Someone else from Malawi, someone else within the country to sell me the crypto. Sure. So the problem is still there till date. But then as an entrepreneur, I had to find other solutions on how I'll be able to source out the crypto. So I think basically that's where the money is, and I would say this year alone we push maybe somewhere close to $300,000 in transaction. Wow,
that's impressive.
Sure.
At 23. All right, so of course I'm not a pro in crypto, to be honest. It's not my field of expertise and interest as of now. But just following up with news around the world, I understand that it's not a good season, if I may say, or period for crypto market worldwide generally. Aside from the Forex issues, isn't that affecting the crypto business altogether? And how are you responding to that? As a business leader?
All right. So the crypto space is quite broad. There's some people who are into crypto as investors. So let's say they'll buy a specific token so that they keep it and then they sell it when the price is higher. And there's some of us who are peer-to-peer traders, and there are others who trade futures, which is another thing. But then when they say that the market is not good, I think that statement that's by the mainstream media, I'd say.
Yeah.
Whereby you get such news from mainstream media, CNN, whatever, cause of their understanding of crypto.
Yeah. In
every market, be it the stock market or maybe the Forex market, there are two cycles. There's the bull run and there's the bear run. When the market is on a bull run, prices go up. When the market is on a bear run, prices go down. So at the moment, I would say we're coming from a bear run, because I think a year ago Bitcoin was trading somewhere around $60,000. One Bitcoin was trading at $60,000, but then at the moment it's trading at somewhere around $28,000. Meaning to say the price has decreased.
Yeah.
So if you invested back then when it was at 60,000, you just invested, as in you just bought the token and kept it so that you can sell it later. If you have to sell it now, you make a loss. So that's really bad for you. As in you just can't sell now. But then this is the best time for one to jump into the crypto space, because it's after a bear and the price is low. So what if you buy the crypto now and then you keep it and then you sell it later on? But then that also depends on the other fundamentals, whereby you have to look at the general how the world economy is working right now. If there's really potential that Bitcoin will really hit that price again, let's say the all-time high for the last season, which was 62,000. So you have to analyze the news and see, okay, based on the news, is it really viable? If I buy now, will I be able to sell at 60,000? Sure. So I would say personally, I think you don't buy when something is expensive. You buy it when it's cheap, so that it's expensive. Sure.
All right. So before moving on from crypto, as you said, you got scammed.
Yes.
And I think it's a story for many people who have at once tried to get into crypto.
Yes.
I don't want to mention nations. We know there are these people from West Africa, very clever. But here you are making it. I know you personally. I don't want to talk about what you have, but you're someone who's doing all right. It's not a speculation. You're in the business. You have been there for a while. What would you tell someone who is interested in crypto and then they have these voices of doubt hitting them now and then? Probably the market is not good. You get scammed and stuff like that. What would you advise generally?
I'll talk to entrepreneurs in general, and whether you want to do crypto or whatever. Firstly, you gain the knowledge. After that, you also need someone to be mentoring you. Because myself, I was mentored by Great Jabez.
Yeah, the great Jabez of crypto.
And also you have to constantly keep on learning.
Yeah.
So I took some online courses as well to do with crypto. That's when I gained some knowledge which I'm using today. Yeah, and also I had to read a couple of books. Yeah. So I'd say first you invest in knowledge, and also you find a mentor.
Yeah.
So it's good to stand on the shoulders of giants, so you'll be able to see far.
Wow.
Sure, brother.
You hate that? Stand on the shoulders. All right. So, do you mentor yourself?
I would say,
like, as someone who wants to say, I want you to be my mentor in crypto, would you be able to be their mentor, to offer service if you do so?
No, personally, I don't. Because of time.
Imagine.
But then there's Great Jabez who still does that. But then he might be quite expensive for an ordinary man. But then you might just get a course. And also, for one to be mentored, you don't have to necessarily, let's say, be talking to me, or maybe we should be communicating. Someone can be mentoring you just by, you get the mentorship. Let's say you just watch his YouTube videos. There's advice there. There are many YouTubers, legit YouTubers who are doing great content. Or maybe you just find an online course whereby you learn. Yeah. And also, let's say in each and every business, unfortunately in the crypto space, I'd say in Malawi, you don't find like, there ain't many of us who are doing crypto in Malawi. That's why it's really hard for you to find a mentor specifically in crypto. But then let's say you're into any business, let's say agribusiness. You discover someone in your community, maybe in the country, who is doing big in agribusiness, let's say Napoleon Zombie. And then you find that person to be, you maybe get some mentorship from him, maybe just some advice. Sometimes you don't even have to, he doesn't have to be mentoring each and every day. You just organize maybe just 1 meter. And then you learn so much from him. Yeah.
And that's good advice.
Sure.
All right, thanks. I think personally I've learned a lot about crypto, and I'm sure someone has also learned more on that. So as I said, if you need to know more about crypto, there are a lot of resources online where you can go and find out. Otherwise, start looking for the mentor. Moving on, as we wrap up the episode, because we're getting close to the end. Tell us more about your personal life. How do you spend your free time?
I love spending time with my family, and I also love traveling.
So what exciting places have you been so far?
I've been to Dubai before. Dubai.
The city of skyscrapers?
Yeah, and I think Malawi is the best place I've been to.
That's impressive. I really have heard people talk about that after they've talked about where they've traveled.
Yeah, Malawi.
What makes Malawi that special?
The weather is just perfect. The food is nice. So I think this is where you have to stay.
I agree with you. Honestly, I would visit other places, but this is a place to stay.
Yeah.
We're still talking about your personal life. How do you get to balance business and personal life? Because I know business is pressure. Yeah. I mean, you have 3 businesses. You're also peer-to-peer crypto trader. I'm sure your time is very precious. How then do you still make sure you're there for the people, like your family that matter in your life? You are there for other responsibilities, other commitments. How do you balance?
Of course, the key thing is at this point in time, at this stage in life, I think making money has to be my focus, I would say.
Why do you say so?
Because I need to build. There's so much which has to be done. I feel like the more money you have, the more you can impact others.
True.
And yeah, my family, the family I'm talking about, for me to be able to take care of them, I need to have money.
True.
And think of it, the more money you make, the more businesses you have, the more people you employ, and they're also taking care of other people.
Okay.
Sure. So I think at this point in time, I have to admit the first priority there would be I making the money. And also one thing, if you have the money, you'll be able to have time. I would say money will help you buy a little bit of time. Yeah, so it will make you more efficient. Maybe you have had someone to be helping you. That means I'll be able to steal a little bit of time to be able to do other personal stuff.
Wow.
Sure. So I think basically money will just help ease some of these other things.
All right. So there's no balance.
My brother, I would say I wouldn't say I would give them 50-50. No.
All right.
Sure, after I'm not married. So we're talking about.
Yeah, I think that's an advantage for anyone who's young and is trying to get into business. I think there's no better time to get started than now, because at least you have a few more years until you get married. Then that would really help to get 100%. Some things in place.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. But then, how do you manage the pressure, the temptation of being young and successful?
What temptations are those?
We all know what happens when you get some healthy pockets. We know what comes with that. There's a lot. People always come with ideas on how to live life, how to live a pleasurable life. But then here you are, you're someone who's focused. You have a lot that you're saying you want to do in life. How do you make sure that you are still on the lane of achieving more in life, despite the success that you might be achieving at this young age?
I think I forgot to mention this out. I'm a born again Christian, so
I love that.
I live by biblical principles. Yeah, I live a lifestyle that a born again Christian has to live. So I wouldn't, the small things like maybe girls or alcohol wouldn't lure me in any way.
Yeah, but there's two things that come with money.
Yes, they do. But then I was a born again Christian before I had money. So I've been there before. I know what it is like, and I know that whatever I have now is cause of God. Yeah. So I wouldn't.
Okay, I love that. I would agree with you. Of course, I know there'll be various people watching this. Some of you might be Christians, atheists. I don't care. I don't know. But there has to be something deep within that has to keep you on the track. And for him, even for me personally, I'm a born again Christian. I'm not ashamed to say that. There's some things you have to get before you get money. I think we can agree on that, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Otherwise, what else can control money and power aside from God? I don't know.
I don't know personally. Because there have to be two forces. So
exactly.
If it's not God, then I don't know what the other force is. So you have to figure that out.
I love that. Okay, so I think we have had a good conversation. There's two more to discuss. Your life is very interesting. You are very inspiring. I'd love to have you on my show soon so that we can go on and discuss things beyond your life, your perspective, what you see about that, how best can we do this and that. I'm sure we should make time for that. But before we go, can we play a little game?
Okay, cool.
All right, so I'm going to ask you questions. This session is called What Would You Do?
Okay.
So I'll ask you a few questions and you just tell me, in that case, what do you do? So probably we might take 5 to 10 so that people can just know what goes on in Mr. Ndawa's mind. All right, so you ready?
Yeah, ready.
All right, that's good. If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be and why?
Let's see.
Think back. Some great figure in history. Who do you want to have a dinner with if you had that chance?
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Why? And who is he?
So Satoshi Nakamoto is a pseudonym of the guy who founded Bitcoin. Yeah. So no one knows who. It's a pseudonym. So no one knows that particular guy. But then I think I would have an interesting conversation with him because, think of it, how would one invent such a brilliant idea of Bitcoin and the whole concept behind it. Yeah, so I think I would learn so much from just having a 2 minutes conversation with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get you. Second question. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and how would you use it? Spider-Man. What would it be and how would you use it? I think you never think about superpowers. The way you're taking time. Have you never had a moment where you took a towel and tied on your neck and started feeling like you're Superman?
Pass, bro.
Okay. If you don't think about being a superpower, which life would you want to swap with? Might be back in the years or now, and why? Like if you had a chance for one day to swap a life with someone, who would it be?
With someone?
Yes. Just not because you don't like yours, but you just want to live their life for a day.
I would say no one, because I have people who I do admire who are doing quite big, but then swapping
never for a day
in that light. And let's say if I would swap in a way whereby I become that person and I interact with these people and then I'm able to get connections that side, if maybe that would happen that way, that I am able to transfer whatever he has and I have it, Then yeah.
So you don't want to be Satoshi Nakamoto. I hope that's his name. in a day, just for a day, just to be Satoshi for a day.
I would love that. I'd love to be Satoshi. I'd love to be Elon Musk. I'd love to be
exactly. Those are the ones we're asking just for a day. But yeah, if it was me, I'd stick in that body. But anyways,
would it be as fun as you think?
Trust me, honestly, I think that's life.
Yeah.
From the other side, it's not always what it looks like.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to is it third or fourth?
Third.
Yeah, but one of our last questions. If you could have a conversation with your future self, what advice would you ask for?
Okay. Ask for my future self.
Yeah, you made your future self future Ndawa. Probably gray haired. I don't know if you'll be bored, but yeah, in the 50s or 60s, and they're like, future Ndawa, please tell me one advice. What advice would it be?
Sure. All right. I would ask the future Ndawa on how best I can live my life today so that I become someone greater. Yeah. Because I believe that whatever I'm doing today will definitely impact my future.
True.
Yeah. So I would be specific about it. How should I live my life? What should I change? Who should I associate with? Who should I not associate with? Because life is life. There are some people right now who maybe I do associate with, who I see to be friends, who might betray me. There may be some business partners who everything is good right now, but then maybe in future our relationships won't materialize. Sure. And also just lifestyle in general. How should I live my life? How should I be with people and stuff like that?
Wow. So, if you could build a dream home, what unique features would it have?
So, firstly, it has to be a box house design.
Box?
Yeah.
Okay.
A box house design. You know them, right?
I have an idea.
Yeah, the modern one.
Yes.
The modern one.
Yeah.
It should have, I can go into details and I've already imagined it.
Yeah.
But then should have a lawn, as in not just a city, but a proper lawn.
Yeah.
With, this okay, they're not iron sheets. What can I call them? Whereby you can be able to see the sky.
So it should be those transparent roofs.
Yeah, at the lawn.
Wow, that would be cool. I'm sure you must have seen that in Dubai. I know Dubai is crazy with these buildings.
And, a beautiful landscape.
Yeah.
Something not too huge, but then something classy. Yeah.
Wow.
With a nice parking lot for.
You're a fanatic for cars.
Yeah, bro. I'm a petrol head.
I feel for you. All right. Last question. If you could solve any global problem, what would it be?
I think I would solve. Okay, I don't know how I would solve it in particular, but then you will have to do something against discrimination. Okay,
can you explain a bit?
Yeah. Being in the crypto space and being exposed to a global market, like the crypto market, I've noticed that there's some services which one wouldn't access just because of the race, I'd say. Yeah. And for example, I would say, how hard will it be for one just to travel from Malawi to America? It's quite a hassle. You need visa. You need whatever.
I'm telling you, then you have to fast to get a visa.
But then some of these problems are there because of how man has chose to discriminate another man.
True.
Yeah. That's why we see wars, we see one country being poorer than another. Of course, that's normal. That's how things are. That's just normal. That's how life is.
Yeah,
but
unfortunately.
Then I feel like there's some level of discrimination which is not doing us a favor. And even Malawi, in perspective, Malawi is not benefiting from it. For example, for someone who is in West Africa to come to Malawi and do a business, they say, he'll face his challenges. And for me to go there and do likewise, face a challenge. But then we're all black, and what matters? But then I think it's just something to do with discrimination, whereby we don't have to be discriminating each other the way we do now. It might be indirectly through things like policies, law, whatever, but then think of it in perspective, it's just pure discrimination. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, our world really needs more love, more unity, more support for each other, and that's a real issue that we have to solve. Otherwise, I think we have come to the end of this show that we had. It's been some time, but it was valuable. I loved every second of having a conversation with you, and I want to thank you for being my first guest on my podcast, and I believe this will go down in history to be one of those episodes that someone will be challenged, will be inspired, and they'll learn that you can start young. You shouldn't be afraid to fail. You shouldn't be afraid to learn, to grow, and you shouldn't be afraid to do the big things. I've seen it. You are 23, and here you are doing business with hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's something to be proud of yourself. I hope you're proud of yourself. Yeah, it's a simple question, but people are not proud, trust me. But I'm sure you're proud of yourself. So thank you so much. As we end it, I'll leave it up to you. Just final words you can tell the world. What are you going to tell our audience?
You are responsible for your own life. Whatever you do now, whatever you invest in now, how you build yourself is what will determine what will be. And it's solely up to you to build yourself or to destroy yourself. So whether you dream about being, having a nice job and maybe having various qualifications, it's all up to you. So whatever you do now, you should be focused on building that.
Yeah.
Sure. So I would say, let's focus on building our value personally. And also, after we do that, let's believe in God to help us achieve our dream.
Wow.
Sure.
So we end it here. Thank you so much for being with us. It has been a good time talking with Ndawa. Looking forward to seeing you next week as we have another guest who inspires and help us in our transitions through life. Bye for now.
Thank you.